Speaking of freaky, a California mom was arrested for having secret sex teen parties where she provided the liquor and condoms, plus watched them have sex. So she likes to party. Now, court document says that 47-year-old Shannon O'Connor started laughing as she watched a teen boy mount and grope a girl who was a friend of her 15-year-old son. Oftentimes, her 14 and 15-year-old children were so intoxicated that they would vomit and be unable to stand and fall down unconscious. Now, O'Connor, charged with felony counts of child abuse and sexual assault, she is also being charged for with $120,000 in credit card fraud. So she's a champion. Story's kind of messed up, right?
That's crazy.
How she
Isn't that the girl from Terminator? Isn't that the girl from Terminator?
I can see why you made that mistake, but no.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying because hey, that's a future that I like. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, this happened in 2020 for the span of 8 months. Basically, she took the credit card fraud money to fund these parties. She's just a sick individual. Ultimately, what happened is some of these girls would get too drunk, too high, that pass out in rooms thinking they could pass out safely. And this mom would send little boys in there to go and do shit to these girls while they were unconscious. Finally, one of them got away, reported it, and other people started to come forward. Now, the story's messed up enough, right? But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because some parents, and I've experienced this, some parents actually allow their kid, they say, hey, I know you're going to go out there. I know you're going to smoke. I know you're going to drink. I know you're going to have sex. I need to make sure that these things are happening in a safe environment. Tell your friends they can come here. And they do that. They actually do that. And a lot of people would hear this and they would say, okay, wow, that's really, really warped. Right now, what O'Connor did is warped because she watched it, she antagonized it, she participated, but some parents say, hey, just go in the basement, go in your room. I just, I'll monitor without seeing type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And to some parents, it makes sense to do that. And some people would hear that and be like, that's sick. Me personally, it's not happening. Me personally, and I'd have to talk to my wife about this. When my daughter reaches that age where she wants to party, and party is a general term, that could mean any of the three things we talked about: drink, smoke, have sex, any of those. I would prefer that my daughter do that in my home. Would I allow my teenage daughter to have sex in my house? Fuck no. I'm going to catch a murder charge. I'm shooting whoever's in there. Period. Right? But what I'm saying, though, the other two, the drinking and the smoking, if my daughter wants to get into that, I would prefer her do that in my home. Because I don't know about you, but I've had some really bad drinking experiences when I was a teen. Not so much smoking, but definitely drinking. And a female, there's some sick people out there who will take advantage of a female who can't make a decision on their, on their own when they're drunk like that.
100%.
Like, where do you stand? Where do you stand on this?
I'm not listen. I'm not saying let your kids go out and be reckless and be wild and don't monitor them and all of that stuff. But I will say this: I've had many good and bad experiences involving alcohol and that type of life and whatever. And you know what? I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of things. It's turned me into a person with a lot more knowledge than I probably would have gained if somebody sat there trying to explain it to me. So as much as I want to, and I understand you being a parent, want to control the environment, which of course, when it comes to stuff like drugs is definitely a wise thing to do. Definitely a wise thing to do.
And alcohol.
Yeah, definitely another wise thing to do, of course, because then you don't have to worry about how your child is getting home. Of course, that's definitely what you want to do. But there are other children involved. There are other kids going to be there. You know what I mean? And their parents are letting them go out, and it's two different experiences now that people are having. See, the kids that are outside your home, those parents are allowing them to kind of make their own mistakes. And if they make grand mistakes, that I guess that's a risk that the parents are willing to take. But they're learning a lot more, unfortunately, than your daughter would learn being in her home environment. She's not going to have to go through those experiences of being totally wasted and having to figure out how she's going to get home.
Hold on for a second. I have to stop you right there.
Oh, okay.
I just have to.
Done.
I know you're not done. Okay. I know you're not done, but like as a parent, you are going down a slide covered in razor blades.
No, but I understand the protective nature of a parent.
It's not about a protective nature, my friend. It's about like even at this age, I'm sure you have female friends. You would female friends that you care dearly about. You
Right.
would not want this grown-up adult to be so in a situation where she's so intoxicated she doesn't know how to get home, or she could be taken advantage of sexually. You're looking at this not only from the point of view as a person without a child, but from the point of view of a man. So a guy being so hammered, a teenager rather, being so hammered, I don't know how I'm gonna get home. What did I do last night? Why does my finger smell like this? That's a very different experience than a girl saying, I don't know how to get home. Why do I hurt down there? You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I'm not even talking about it to the point of any type of sexual assault, like
Well,
getting
where do you think
that
any parent
that
would be looking
drunken
at this from?
that drunken wasted. That's an extreme case. That's an extreme case because that's not going to happen every time that they get
Mhm.
intoxicated.
So I will tell you, and I'm
And
sorry.
you and I don't want to break your heart. I don't want to hurt you, but any parent that feels that just by having their kid in the house and trying to control the environment and all of that stuff, if you feel like that's always going to be the case, that's just not going to be it. Your kid is still going to find a way to get outside of your house and do all those things away from your house as much as you want to sit there and control it. So it's still going to happen. It's still going to
100%,
happen.
100%.
And hopefully the parent doesn't make it to a situation where the child feels like they need to hide that from them, because then that becomes more when you start creating an environment for your child, a safe one at that, but then they feel like they need to escape because they want to rebel. That's now become a more dangerous situation because they might feel like they need to hide it from you. But I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong, though. I'm just saying there's different experiences, and sometimes the tougher route, as dumb as I may sound, not having a kid, can teach the kids more experience. Hopefully, obviously, I don't want anybody to get sexually assaulted. That's extreme. Hopefully, they're smart enough to at least party in groups with friends.
Well, what you're talking about is lessons learned, and lessons learned can be applied in any faction of adolescence as they grow up. What I'm speaking to and what you're saying in response to that makes total sense. You can't control. You can, but you can't, because if you've ever been a kid,
You
if
can
you watch
try.
you could try. So really, it's all about the parenting and what you instill. But even with all the parenting that you do, even with, don't let anybody make your drinks, even with the bring your own, all of that stuff, kids, excuse me, teenagers make bad decisions. And there's also malicious teenagers out there that will do whatever they can to help assist your child, your teenager, to making a bad decision. Do I think, or should any parent think for 1 second, if they try to put their child in a controlled environment, that they can prevent the world from being the world? You'd be sadly mistaken, and your heart will be broken. But all you can do is try to parent the best you know how to parent. And when I say what I said, again, to be clear, my wife has not signed off on this. But when I say what I said, I don't think for a second that my future daughter would be like, "Oh, this is fun. My parents are cool. This will work." Of course not. She's eventually gonna be like, "This is boring, and I
Right.
want to go party somewhere else." So it's about parenting, I think. But to now dribble all
Obviously what that teacher did
parent
was
mom.
extremely was extremely fucked up. What that teacher did with the students and then messed up. That's extremely fucked up. There was, I don't know if you remember the big, when Boosie, it came out that Boosie bought I think his son turned 13 or turned some age or whatever, and he got him a prostitute to give him a blowjob. Do you hear about that?
Of course.
Okay, so Boosie caught a hella lot of backlash for doing something like that. People said that was sick. That's disgusting. Oh, what if he didn't want it? He was molested. Blah 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 blah. But you know what? Maybe the son wanted it. And if Boosie didn't do it, maybe the son had already gotten it. It's Boosie's son. It's Boosie's son. He could have gotten that from a grown woman himself before that already, and Boosie didn't even know that. Boosie thought it was the first time. So I'm just saying,
Exactly.
you can try to control it, and people can criticize you for doing but the kids, if they want to go do it, they go do it. You think my parents wanted me to have sex in their household? Obviously not. Did I?
Did you have sex on your parents' bed?
No,
Oh, you're fired for sure.
because there's an audio and a video version of this. So no.
You're fired for sure. Viewing public, listen, man. Again, the original well, the springboard for this topic. Crazy. I don't even have to ask you how you feel about that. But let's talk to allowing your children to party underneath your roof, or maybe you have a flat roof, but underneath your roof. How do you feel about it? That? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and
People in Florida
subscribe.
pissed off at you right now for that rooftop.
I know, right? Listen, babe, Karen, listen. Again, I said that you need to agree with the future party. I'm not saying it's happening. All right,
This
Deuces.
guy's already covered his tracks. Very
Got
wise,
to,
sir.
man. Listen, let me tell you something about prostitutes, though.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like, please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000, and we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.